So this would be Marvel's first foray into the horror genre, and I'd say they did a pretty good job. I'm also not counting Doctor Strange 2 as horror. I don't think a few scenes of the Scarlet Witch crawling out of the wall determines the genre of the entire film. So this is about a 1-hour Disney special, and the story takes place at the estate of Ulysses Bloodstone, the greatest monster hunter of all time, or at least he was. He died recently, and his last wife invited the greatest monster hunters in the world for a hunt at the estate, where the one who kills the monster becomes the leader of the monster hunters and is also awarded the Bloodstone. Ulysses Bloodstone in Marvel Comics was first introduced in Marvel Presents #1 as a caveman living in the region that would become Scandinavia when a meteorite fell to Earth containing the Blood Gem, an artifact sent to Earth by a being who wanted to take over the world. After fighting for the gem, a piece of it was lodged in his sternum, granting him superhuman attributes as well as near immortality, allowing him to live and hunt monsters for 10,000 years. Presumably, his origin and the power of the Bloodstone are similar in the MCU. As I already mentioned, this contest is being facilitated by Verussa Bloodstone, who is an original character. The contestants are Elsa Bloodstone, the daughter of Ulysses, who left his tutelage when she was young. She was meant to automatically inherit the Bloodstone, but the shame she brought upon the family precipitated this contest. Elsa was first introduced in Marvel Comics in Bloodstone issue #1. Her origin was somewhat retconned into what I've just explained, except that in the comics, the Bloodstone was always meant for her. She never had to win it in a contest. The lead character is Jack Russell, aka Werewolf by Night, who was introduced in Marvel Spotlight issue #2. Born Jacob Rusoff, later having his name changed to Jack Russell, Jack was descended from a long line of men cursed with lycanthropy. The curse had been dormant for generations until his father, Gregor Rusoff, a warlock who reactivated the curse while studying magic, passing that curse down to Jack. Based on his accent as well as his makeup, it reminds me a lot of Mexico's Day of the Dead, so I'm gonna guess that this Jack Russell is Hispanic. Though since they don't go in depth with his heritage, I'm not sure why they made the change in the first place. I guess it's just two more redhead characters that fall to the wayside. The other hunters present are Joven, Azarel, Leorn, and Barrasso. I have no idea if I pronounced those names correctly. I don't know anything about these characters. Fairly certain they are all original characters for this special. Also, the contest is explained to them partially by an animatronic Ulysses, which isn't just a puppet, it's its actual body, which is kind of weird, though it does bring back memories of Tales from the Crypt. The monster that the group is sent to hunt turns out to be Man-Thing, aka Ted Sallis. Introduced in Savage Tales issue #1, Ted Sallis was a biochemist creating a variation of the super soldier serum, which when mixed with magic swamp water, turned him into the Man-Thing. He can manipulate plant life, secrete acid, and guards the nexus of all realities, allowing him to travel to alternate dimensions. Jack Russell is a part of this contest because he is friends with Ted and is trying to save him. Jack convinces Elsa to help him save Ted in return for the Bloodstone, and together they manage to take out a couple of the hunters before they're found out by Verussa, who sees Jack's true identity as a monster as a complete betrayal of their order. After they're captured, Verussa uses the Bloodstone to activate Jack's werewolf transformation. The scene after he transforms where he pulls Verussa's arm and then gets shocked by the guards, it reminded me of the scene in Jurassic Park at the beginning where the raptor pulls that one guy in. But Elsa and Werewolf by Night manage to defeat the remaining hunters and guards as well as Verussa. Jack escapes with Ted and Elsa gains the Bloodstone as well as the Bloodstone estate. So I don't know about you guys, but to me the lead up to the competition almost felt longer than the hunt itself and the fight afterwards. Honestly, by the time Jack transformed, I thought that maybe there'd be a part 2. I'm not sure how I feel about Jack's werewolf transformation. It looks a little bit more like Teen Wolf while I was hoping for more Wolfman, but the practical effects didn't look too bad. The Man-Thing CGI was iffy, but that really fits in with the pattern of Phase 4's CGI being shit. I'm also somewhat surprised at how the special ended. There wasn't any hints that we'll see these characters again, and there wasn't anything that tied this into the rest of the MCU. I'm not saying that I wanted Blade or Moon Knight to walk in at the end trying to recruit one of these guys into the Avengers, but they could have mentioned some event or shown something in a newspaper to tell us that this is in the MCU. I know that there was the Avengers art at the beginning, but that felt a lot more like the narrator letting the audience know that this is a Marvel show even though it doesn't feel like it. And keep in mind that this is the multiverse saga. This could be an alternate universe where monsters exist, but there aren't any Avengers or other kinds of heroes. It would explain why we've never heard of any of the monsters in the MCU other than one or two mentions of vampires. I wanted to point out a few of the Easter eggs that I noticed, including some of the art and stuff that I recognized. Here is art of Ulysses fighting a Wendigo, which is a creature that is a result of an ancient curse that turns any man who's consumed human flesh into a beast. There's also a picture of him fighting a Sasquatch. Sasquatches do exist in Marvel Comics, however, there is also a character named Sasquatch. He was originally a scientist named Walter Lankowski, who performed a gamma experiment similar to Bruce Banner and was turned into a large Sasquatch-like creature, though I'm pretty sure that he wasn't the one killed by Ulysses. This artwork here is really interesting because the creature depicted looks incredibly similar to the comic book version of Gore the God Butcher, unlike the MCU version. In the comics, Gore did fight some Vikings in medieval times, but unless this is an alternate MCU universe, I can't think of what else this picture would be depicting. This vampire head here could just be a random vampire, but to me it looks like the character Nosferatu, who was based on Count Orlok from the film Nosferatu. Other than that, I didn't pick up any objects of any significance. I did translate the Latin that I could make out, and while it isn't random nonsense, it also doesn't tell us anything that we couldn't have inferred ourselves. Overall, I did enjoy this story. I enjoyed the horror element, and there wasn't the usual MCU humor shoehorned in, which was refreshing. The portrayal of the characters that I recognized was decent, though it would have been cool to see Ulysses Bloodstone alive. I think I would rate this as either my second or favorite MCU project of Phase 4, tied with Spider-Man No Way Home, and that film is at the top mainly because of nostalgia. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Also, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on a new video. I'll see y'all next time.